Hi, this is Theo from PuckerBlocks.com. Today I'm going to review this box set of Koh-I-Noor Magic colored pencils. I was at the art supply store yesterday and I saw this box of colored pencils on the shelf. I was attracted by the color swatches here, and actually they are grouped according to some sort of color scheme. So these colors here are actually from the warm color scheme. This is going towards the cool color scheme. You have the yellow mixed with the blue to get the green. And also I was attracted by basically the very beautiful colors here, the mixture of colors. There are actually 13 pencils in this box, and it comes with an eraser, pencil sharpener. This is much bigger than I expected because the pencils are actually quite large but short. So these are all the pencils that are inside. So these are the pencils. There are 13 of them. One is a blender, so you don't see any color swatch at the bottom here, but the rest, they are grouped according to some color scheme. So you can see the warm color scheme here, the cool color scheme, the blues, the greens, the purple, magenta, and there's a brown pencil and also a pencil with just gray tones. By the way, you can get these pencils in different sets. So they have 12 in a set or 24 in a set. Sometimes they come with the pencil sharpener and eraser. Sometimes they do not come with the sharpener. I would advise you to get one with the sharpener because this is not the usual sharpener. This is slightly larger compared to other pencil sharpeners, so they can sharpen this. If not, you might get the wrong sharpener. For example, this is the normal pencil sharpener that I have. This is meant for normal pencils, the small, thinner pencils. This, by the way, is also a Koh-I-Noor Magic pencil. So they sell it in this type, in this format, which is a triangular pencil that is shorter, and also the core is also much larger compared to this pencil, which is the normal size, the thin pencil hexagon design. It's smaller, it can fit into a pencil sharpener like this, but this is a much larger sharpener, so it might be a bit difficult to find it if you don't buy it in a set like this. Let's take a closer look at the colors. We have yellow mixed with orange. This is yellow, this is red with some orange. It's purple. This is the finishing. It's very nice. They actually have some sort of lacquer onto the surface, so it's very smooth, and there is a semi-gloss finishing. And when you put it onto the table, because the pencils are triangular, so they don't really roll off the table, so this is quite safe. The green pencils are on the right side. This is the blue pencil, this is the brown pencil, and this is the gray and black pencil. On the pencil, there are some numbers. I think it's to represent the specific model of that pencil, the specific color. So this is 15, but there are no other names on the pencil. So yeah, here are the pencils from another angle. Very bright, very colorful. So let's start using them now. I'm just going to pick the pencils randomly to draw with them. So this is a purple. You can see some of the colors are they start to blend here. That's because there are several colors in the pencil itself, and this is really quite fun to draw with. Later on, I will overlay the pencil with some watercolor to see how well they do. The colors are actually quite strong, so this is quite nice. Let me switch to this. This is a brown pencil. So this is fine grain paper. Let me show you some shading later on to let you see how the pencils look like when you shade them. You can see two colors here. One is a blue and one is like a purple or violet. We switch to the red color here. This is red with some orange. So for the ground, I'm just going to use this green color, green, yellow, and a mid green. Very nice to see this yellow transition into this darker green. And it's really wonderful for drawing grass because some of the grass will be yellow, some of the grass will be green, and there's this very nice variation. Alright, now I'm going to go over the color pencils with watercolor to see what's going to happen. I'm not exactly sure what binder they use in the color pencils, whether it's oil or wax, but when I overlay the pencil lines with watercolor, the pencil, they do not repel the water. So this is great because this means that you can use watercolor on top of the pencil, and this is great for mixed media art. Let me wait for this to dry. Meanwhile, I want to use these color pencils on cold press paper. This is fine grain paper and looks very nice. Let me put the warm colored pencils on the left side and the cool colored pencils on the right side. Same thing, later on I will just overlay the color pencils with some watercolor. So you can see that this paper texture is much rougher compared to the fine grain paper, and you can see a lot of the white of the paper showing through. The watercolor does cover the lines, that they do go over the line, and sometimes if the line is not dark enough, it's going to disappear. Now that this has dried, let me try and overlay some hatching lines and see if I can get some effects going on. So on cold press paper, this is still, you can still add lines like this, like shadow lines, maybe. Let's take a look at the other sketch. This is the earlier sketch that has dried. My wash is a bit light and it's transparent, so the lines are still able to show up through the watercolor. But I think it's best to use the pencils on their own like this, so they can really show off the different variations of colors and how the colors change from one to another. So these are some additional sketches that I drew with different pencils. So with just maybe 2 pencils or 3 pencils, I use a orange red pencil here, a brown pencil here, a blue pencil, and a green pencil. So 4 pencils and you can get this sort of variety just with line art like this. Also, if you can also do some shading. These pencils, they work best on fine grain paper or smooth paper with some texture, of course, because you still want the pencil to grip onto the paper surface. You can see the difference between the shading here and this shading here. And if I press down really hard, you can still see the speckles of white from the paper. Let's try some blending as well. I'm going to blend this light yellow with red. Okay, let's try the orange first before I go to the red. And finally the red. And maybe the blue, just to see how it looks like. I think they blend nicely together. Let me use the blender pencil and try and go over it to see how it works. So when you use the blender pencil, you press hard onto the color pencil, it sort of burnishes the pigment. It makes them merge together, so you might see some white of the paper showing through here, but after I go through them, you will not see them anymore, because this forces the pigments to mix together and also cover up the white of the paper. So this is how it looks like. These color pencils are quite fun to use. I can see myself using them a lot in the future for line art. They are also good for shading, and you can blend them together quite nicely. I do recommend that you use them on smooth paper like hot press watercolor paper if you want to use watercolor over them, and it's quite nice to use with watercolor because the pencils, they do not repel water. Or you can use them on fine grain cartridge paper. I think they work well on smoother paper. As for the pricing, they are slightly more expensive compared to Koh-I-Noor's other color pencils, maybe about 1.5 or 2 times as much. So you might want to check out different online shops to see their prices first before you buy them. Anyway, I'll put a link to my text review in the video description below, so you can get some purchase links there, and also see some of the artworks that I've created in this video at higher resolution. I think that's all for my video review today. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section below. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, do so for more sketching tips, techniques, art product reviews. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.